All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see who comes. But even though there's people that are not in the room, I'll say this for the live. Got to get this off my chest. Since Kobe's the first in line, because I couldn't figure out what to name this creation, and I should actually be doing. Had planned to do this live for my patrons, but you know how it is on YouTube. YouTube and life. The plans of mice and men aft go a glee, and this is about as glee as it is. Current events and some things that are going on YouTube, because everything's really not about YouTube. YouTube is just a small segment. But my condolences to Kobe and his daughter who died in a helicopter crash. Him being a good father, taking his baby so that she can live her dream. So even though he's a billionaire, he loves his 4 kids, and he's uh, being a family man for his 4 kids. So shout out to Kobe, and rest in peace, Mamba. Uh, Hell of a player, a decent dude, good family man, from what I can tell. And hey, a man in general, as much as and as faithful as you can be in the NBA. I'll say that, he has his failings like we all do, but I saw him basically. You see him grow up because he was 17 when he came to LA. So basically, you see him grow up online and in the stadium, in the streets. You see him grow up, and so basically, he's like almost like a kid brother to me. So to see him going from that irrational, angry young man to when he just before he retired became a hell of a lot more thoughtful and a hell of a lot more mature, and he became probably the person he was meant to be. It also made me think about what I said about your one true legacy, your one true gift, your one true resource, which is to breathe air on this plane. It doesn't matter how beautiful your wife is, or how great your family is, or how much money you have. All that doesn't matter if you can't breathe air. And that hit me about thinking about that, especially when I saw his helicopter went down, and thought um, sometimes all these beefs and the stuff that we go round and round with, how pointless the shit it actually really is. It's really actually pointless, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you have. Okay, because a split second, and that helicopter, it was a Sikorsky helicopter, one of the best helicopters in the world. It wasn't one of those cheap passenger helicopters. It was actually one of the best that almost never fail. And he's a wealthy man. And one fluke, one instant, one failure, and next, 30 seconds you're in the air being happy, and the next instance you're gone. You and your daughter. And I had hoped his daughter wasn't on the helicopter with him, but she was, and even more than Kobe, that saddens me, that she will never get to be the woman that she's supposed to be. And and I was tuning onto I think I will unsubscribe to this particular person, female. Okay, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was talking about Kobe, and she's talking about that, and and just trying to chat my hide. The man ain't even been dead a day. Okay, and she's talking about the money that he has and a legacy and how he was married to a non-black woman. I just clicked off. I said, you know what? I can't do this. Okay. Because I'm gonna go punch through some walls if I keep listening to this bullshit. You know, which outlines about black women, and sometimes they think, the thing is, they think they're right, and they can be so fucking insensitive towards black men. Man's dead, his daughter died, and all the fuck you can think is about where his money's gonna go, that it's not gonna go into the black community, black hands, which irritates the fucking hell out of me. Black men are not your bag. They're not your possession. They don't belong to you, okay? They have free will and free spirits and free associations just like everybody else. Okay? They have a right to make their own decisions. Unless you earn that money, unless you put money in his pocket, unless you helped him build it, you really don't have a say about what happens to his money, or who he marries, or where it goes. I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not going to bring any smoke to this particular person. Okay. But the thing is, it just reminds me of the insensitivity that black women can have toward their own men. Just the insensitivity. It doesn't matter. Black women are so caught up in their own bubble that they can't come out of it for 1 second. They weren't. It's um. Let's put it this way. You know what? Today, since it's just random thoughts. It's not really about an agenda. And I'm just gonna be fucking honest, man, about this. And I was just telling Gab, you know, I love my black women. I have black sisters. I got black daughters. I've never strayed outside of my community. Not, I mean, dating. I never really dated anybody outside my community. Love my black women. In spite of themselves, not because of them, but in spite of themselves. And when I hear shit like this, man, I guess, I had to put my head down. I am so fucking disappointed. I am so fucking disappointed in my women. Yeah, I'm so fucking disappointed in my women. And when I hear shit like that, when I hear stuff like that, man, that you don't even have the human decency to even let the man mourn, okay, before you go in on about because you don't like his dating choices. I'm like, say, what happened to our women? What has happened to them? Have they do do they really have that much contempt for black men to the point where they can't think of them as human first? I mean, really. And then black women wonder why the younger men, especially, want to leave. And you think that it's so normal that you don't, that the old saying of, being having no having respect for the dead. Does it only count when if the person is of another color? And it only counts when the black man is doing exactly what you want him to do? And I just had to, and I did, I don't shed tears for people that I don't personally know. I'm saddened because, like I said, I have a lot of memories because, like I said, I saw the brother grow up on the court. I remember I was at his first, this is years ago, his very first game in a Laker uniform. We're all lined up at the Long Beach Pyramid. That's where the summer league games were, right? And him and Derek Fisher were the only two pro Lakers that had just been drafted. His very first game that he played in a Laker uniform, I was there to watch it. I remember seeing him on the court as a 17-year-old playing in a Laker uniform. So I have an affinity for him. Well, they might have been, the thing is that the thing is that you love the man, you love to see him play, but the thing is, it doesn't matter what else he's done. If he doesn't marry somebody that looks like you, all of a sudden you know, he's public enemy number one, and you forget that you're human. Yeah, go ahead and dump Missy K. Just get her out of here. Let's go ahead and dump her. Anyway, well, so that that kind of related me to SYSBM. And another thing I was listening, somebody sent me a link to Let's Be Frank, right? And he was going in on because hey, SYSBM is hot, and they have their moment in the sun, and they're crowing. And he was talking about how supposedly I abandoned them, or my love to save the black community overrode my allegiance to them, supposedly, right? Even though my message has always been consistent. I have never said that I wasn't a pro-black or conscious community or have the love for my community. That's the only reason I'm here, my love for my community. So if, they're pissed off because, I'm true to myself. I have a love for my community. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I do have a love for my women. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, even though the women don't think so. I want them to be better. And sadly, maybe they can't be. But I always held to the same idea that black men have a choice to be happy. And I told them that, let's be frank, that years ago when they came on and asked me about it, him and Kira Gakri Jones. Black men have black nerds or black educated lambs or black people. Black men have a right to be happy. If they can't be happy in the black community, they have every right to go someplace else where they're accepted, where they can be happy, where they can thrive. I've never argued against any of that. My only argument with the so-called educated lambs and the Pookie and Ray Rays or the thugs, whatever it is just because you weren't picked by whatever group of women doesn't mean you have to go at your brothers. Because at the end of the day, it's not their choice. If you want to get mad at the women. They're not choosing. You can be mad at them. Okay? They didn't choose you. Be mad at them. Don't get mad at the guys that they choose. They had no say so in that. And half the dudes that are down there that aren't educated, that aren't in that class, half those dudes aren't being chosen either. That was my only thing. Stop going at each other. Same thing with the other way, going back with the thugs or the whatever, going back at the educated dudes. And then it came down to the select versus the non-select, which I think is silly. You're getting mad at another man because of who the women choose, and vice versa. You're down on another man because the women ain't choosing you. Stop it. They talk about, well, you never you weren't with the SYSBM or the Outlier Brothers or whatever. I've always been that way. Always been with them. Why do you think I brought Kevin Samuels in? Okay, against everybody's wishes. Okay, against everybody's wishes. And thank God Kevin trusted me enough to stick with me, because a certain segment of dudes I would talk to in the background in the back chat were not happy. They were outliers. They were educated lames or SYSBM, but they weren't happy. Why weren't they happy? Because they weren't fulfilling themselves. There was pieces that were missing, and the pieces that they were missing, Kevin had. So even though they rejected him initially, guess what they did? They started to embrace Kevin, and Kevin made them better, and Kevin made them happier. And Kevin gave them the pieces that they were missing so they could be the complete person. And basically, I said this to the Black Brain Trust months ago. I don't belong to you. I belong to the truth. I don't belong to SYSBM, Idmore, MGTOW, whatever, pro-black. I belong to the truth first, because I'm a Gnostic. I belong to the truth first, wherever that goes. And a lot of my long held beliefs about what I believed about black women and slavery and all that kind of stuff, that had to change because it wasn't true. When it's not true, you got to change. And the funny thing is that all the folks on SYSBM side that were really trying to change the minds of the other brothers to accept them, not only to accept them, to embrace them and see their ideology. Now, when the brothers do see your ideology, you're not happy. Like, well, you wasn't with us all the way, all along. They weren't supposed to be. The reason that you're on a platform to exchange ideas is so that you can get people to see your point of view. And when they do, you should be happy that they have. But now you want to make a separation, okay? You get your 15 minutes of fame. That's the odd thing about life. What if you really get what you really want? If you get what you really want, what are you going to do with it? Now, if SYSBM brothers that were right about some things, not everything, but they were right about some things, especially black male choice, which I've always agreed with, the plight of black men has always been at the forefront of my, especially black boys. Black boys have always been at the forefront of this whole endeavor. But the thing is, now that you have your 15 minutes of fame, what are you going to do with it? So you're going to try to get revenge and kick people that didn't agree with you in the first place? Or are you trying to embrace your brothers now that they're going to come to your side? What y'all going to do? What y'all going to do? Because now is not the time to stick out your tongue and wag your finger. And then now is the time that you do have your moment in the sun that may not last for very long. Are you going to embrace people? Are you going to embrace your black brothers? Because really, that's really what you want. You want to be embraced by your community of brothers. You know what? It's Kobe. Black people can attack Kobe's legacy from here to eternity. It's not going to do any good. What Kobe's money is in China. Kobe's a Laker. Kobe, the vast majority of Laker fans are not black. And the vast majority of Laker fans are not black women. So they can attack his legacy from here to kingdom come. How come they didn't do it to his face when he was alive? And damn sure his wife doesn't give a shit. You know what? People would build with $1 billion have a foundation. Okay, she'll get her portion. But normally the vast majority of the money goes towards whatever foundation that he set up. Kobe's not stupid. He had very good advisors, just like Michael Jackson. There's a foundation that he has. It's not going to go to a woman. She'll get her cut. And at the end of the day, who cares where his money goes? What Kobe has, the Fed gives that away to banks in minutes. Okay, in minutes, but nobody talks about that. But Gab asked me how come I was getting tired of doing this shit. Okay, and I said black people are hard headed. How do you get black people to move? People think that this is something new, something I've been dealing with for the last 20 years and basically 15 years. We've been discussing it back and forth. That's the biggest thing in the conscious community. How do you get black people to embrace good decisions or good outcomes or even good ideas? Acknowledging, I have a very good reason for doing what I do. And you can't, if, I don't know how many questions I get about uh, my BGS for Women channel. Just got a day with Gab talking about, are you going to start it back up? I have 34,000 subs, right? Everybody does not think the same. You might say don't acknowledge them. And 5 people said, okay, we should get a women's perspective. Okay. Got 34,000 subs. And you would think that everybody would be in lockstep. They don't want to hear from women, which is bullshit. Every day, what are you going to do with the women's channel? Even though they claimed they didn't like it when it was up. You know what? It might have been. Okay, that's not the point that we're even going to make. Whether it's death was predicted. Anybody can make a prediction, just like anybody can make a bet. And they won't know until they clean up the wreckage. The thing just crashed. What? It hasn't even been 5 hours, and it's in a remote area. They have to haul back the pieces to even find out what it was. The thing just crashed. It's not like it crashed a week ago. It just crashed. They won't know what it is until they look at the wreckage. They have to take the thing apart. But Sikorsky's are very reliable helicopters. That was one of the best helicopters in the world. Kobe was Kobe. Let's put it that way. Gotta understand Kobe. Kobe was Kobe. And there's Kobe the person, that's Kobe the brand. And 45% of your NBA tickets go to females. So there's Kobe the brand. If you're going to be up there, the NBA, you're going to have to sell to women. It is what it is. The thing is about most ball players, if you guys are gym rats, okay, there is no difference between a male basketball player and a female basketball player, okay? Guys will watch the girls play just like they watch the guys play, okay? At the end of the day, they're all gym rats. Sometimes they even play with each other. There is no difference. So, of course, he's going to be pro WNBA or pro female basketball because he's a basketball player. It doesn't matter to them. I coached my sister's summer league team when she was in high school. I used to take them around to the pickup game so they could get better. To a basketball player, basketball is basketball. My sister who played college basketball and my son who's semi-pro, they basically they're almost like kindred souls. They even talk the same language. So sometimes now when it comes to money, okay, if that's what you're talking about, the biggest factor in the WNBA is not the men. The biggest majority of your fans of WNBA are men, not women. Go figure that out. The women don't support the WNBA. It's not the men. Why are the Swirlers celebrating Kobe's death? Which is another thing I don't understand. Why are they celebrating Kobe's death? Oh, yeah, we used to tease Reggie about his sister. They still do. Anyway, let me read some comments. I mean, the dude just died. He's not even, his body hasn't really even been recovered yet. Okay. His body hasn't even been recovered yet. And we're thinking about his money and all that kind of stuff. At this particular time, when you're not breathing air, none of that counts. We're not breathing air, none of that counts. And the thing is, the stuff that goes on here, everybody should pause about what they're doing, because at the end of the day, dude is a billionaire. He's got a great family, has 3 or 4 mansions, great business in China, getting ready to be a multiple billionaire. Got everything going for him. And him and his daughter go down in a helicopter accident. He's not there anymore. At the end of the day, what does it matter if you're not here? What does it matter if you're not here? If you can't, all the stuff that we think is important, it doesn't matter if you're not here. And if you're here on this earth plane, try to be the happiest that you can. If you can't be happy, be content. Crystal swirls, fuck crystal swirls. There's people that are not wrapped too tight. And the people that are swirlers, the thing is, the person that said it about his legacy, that saddened me, is because this person, one, is not a swirler, and 2, is very intelligent. That's what bothered me. Hey, Art, what's going on? Art knows what I'm talking about, which bothers me. At what point do we stop being black for a second and be human? At what point do we stop being black and we be human? At what point will black women get off their horse, their stance, and be human and try to understand instead of going down with the ship? They are human, unfortunately. All too human. They have flaws. I wish they weren't. It'd be easier to deal with, but they are human. All right, man. Knock it off. This ain't that kind of show. And I want to give everybody some liberty, but if you guys gonna troll, the snipers are gonna come out. Okay. So if you want to troll, keep it down. If you don't want to keep it down, the snipers will come out, and then they're gonna start knocking people off. Okay. If you want to go play someplace else. What was the other thing I was thinking about? Is that in this space, especially in this space, we get wrapped up in what I call pussy politics and dating. Man, who can I get? Who am I going to get with? Who's not getting with whom? Right? And in 5 years, all that stuff won't matter. Because I remember something that I was thinking. Listen to Let's Be Frank. He talking about the black community being a smoldering crater, which it probably is. And basically, if I can, it's my job as a conscious person to try to do something about it if I can. Sometimes you can't. But the thing is, it's my duty to try. And the thing is, I was thinking that the United States is one bank run away from being the same smoking crater that the black community is, because a lot of times the black community is the canary in the coal mine. The canaries drop dead, but the thing is, you got minutes before you follow the same path. And white people are following the same path that we are, not just here, but all over the world. And that's the issue. And that's sometimes the biggest issue that I used to say, I think 20 years ago, I said, black people do not exist in a bubble. But black people think that they do. So when you try to bring something, a remedy from the outside, or example from the outside, everybody, they're not comfortable. Now, I had to get back into the black bubble. They have to concentrate on what's going on in the black community. I have to, it doesn't matter what's going on in the rest of the world, because that really doesn't affect us, because it's only what we do. And we can be our own separate community and overcome this, which is not true. And you get tired of hammering that into people's heads. I mean, really hammering for years, hammering that into people's heads. And every now and then you hear, okay, they finally got this point. But the thing is, they're way behind. Because the world is moving so fast that they may not catch up. It's going to hit them. It's going to hit them, and they won't know what hit them. So it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, or what you tell them, or how many times that you prove right. It doesn't matter. They're going to stay stuck in the same pit, in the same bubble. Because I just, like I said, I was on Gab, and this brother, this brother was telling me about what he was hearing in the black male space, right? That his message that he was hearing that black women were all bad. I said, okay, well, how is that? Well, you guys talk negatively about black women. I said, well, number one, is it true? And number two, did black men in the space that all black women are bad? And what exactly did they say? He couldn't articulate it. It was a feeling. And he was uncomfortable with facts. because what he heard made him feel bad. And it always goes back to my experience. Oh, they want you resource? um, I appreciate you. But the thing is somebody asked, I had mentioned it in passing in one video, and somebody wanted me to expand upon it. Because we go through our whole life wasting it. Even me. Every second that we live is precious. Kobe's proof of that. Dude was just 40 years old. So, with him being an Xer, he probably hadn't lived half of his life. He had another 40, 50 years to go. Just like that, he's gone. Everything to live for. He wasn't trying to die. He wasn't unhappy. His time was up. A lot of unhappy people roll around don't realize that oh, I don't have a woman, I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have this, and you're dusty if you don't have this amount of money, you don't make six figures, whatever, right? And I was sitting there talking to the local homeless guy, right? Dude lives in a homeless shelter. When he can to get his beer money or his food money, he rolls around the neighborhood picking up cans. Okay, but the dude sits on the bench drinking his beer, on the bus bench drinking his beer, almost every day, looking at the world, feeling the sun on his face, looking at the traffic with a smile on his face. Not this downtrodden homeless dude that feels bad. He's never begged for money. He's never had his hand out. He's never had a sob story. But he sits there every day drinking his couple of beers, looking at the traffic, feeling the sun on his face, feeling the wind on his skin, with a smile on his face. And it took me a while of seeing this dude, right? Said this dude is probably in California be one of the worst conditions you could be in, right? He should be angry at his life. He should be mad that he has to pick up cans and drink his beer, whatever. Dude has a smile on his face every day. But he does have time to introspect. The thing is that he's not even introspective. He's just content. He's not worried about it. He's alive. And one day I had to stop him. I sat down and talked to him. I said, "Man, you know what?" I said, "You're probably the most contented man that I've ever met." He just grinned. He said, "Yeah, man." And he said, "Thank you." He didn't say, "Oh man, I got it hard. Oh man, I got this, that, and the other. I got women problems. I got money problems. I got, I got house problems, or I can't find out." He said, "None of that, man." He drinks his beer. He looks at the traffic. He feels the sun on his face, and he's content. And all he has is what he has on that cart. It's all the possessions he has in the world. What he has on his back, what he has in his backpack, and what's in that cart. And we got people making six figures, living in big houses, that travel, that can't be happy. That can't be happy. Now I have a dude a black dude that's content every day. And I got people that I know that have millions and are not happy. I'm not saying that you should be a bum to be content. I wouldn't say that. The thing is, how come the rich person's not happy? Not why is not the poor person unhappy? Because by all rights, he should be. I'm just saying is that I know all black people need to be um, on somebody's couch, getting counseled, getting their brain examined, right? That's part of it. But at some point, when are people going to stop? Just for one moment, male and female, and just say, I want to find this one moment of contentment in whatever circumstance that I'm in. Just one, and be content. I mean, if most of the people that make a whole lot of money and power, Mike, are happy. They're actually content with not with the acquisition, not with the race, and the money doesn't matter. Most of the guys that really are go-getters about money and power, they had a buddy that was hustler. He made in the 90s, he was making $500 a day doing whatever, right? And it wasn't the money, because he didn't care about the money. He cared about the chase. He was content with the chase. That was his life. He cared about the chase, because when the money was gone, it didn't bother him, because it wasn't about the money, which is something I hate that women try to do. Try to put you in a bag. Like, oh, you're dusty if you don't have no money. At the end of the day, the dustiest fucking dude that I know is content with his life. And Kobe Bryant, who was content with his life, can't be content anymore because he don't have a life anymore. People thinking about killing themselves because they can't live up to expectations. Dudes upset and mad because you can't get laid. Man, fuck it, man. Sell some cans, get $20, go buy some. It doesn't matter. Oh, well, I wanted her to love me. Man, at the end of the day, fuck that. If you're horny and you want a girl, and it doesn't matter how you get it and be done with it and go back to being content. Stop being upset. Stop worrying about whether you get a woman or not. That's why I stopped. That's why I became mixed up. I wanted to be content. I didn't want to live by somebody else's expectations 24/7. No matter what you did, you walk in the house and they got a frown on their fucking face. I got tired of that shit. I'll drop the link in a minute, Grinch. That's what I want. That's why even though I'm not SYSBM, okay? From the very beginning, when the brothers approached me, okay, years ago when the channel first got up, started doing hangouts, I said, they said, should brothers leave the black community? I said, number one, why are you leaving? Because we're not happy here. I said, the first thing, that's a no-brainer. Of course you should leave. If you're not happy, you leave. And it wasn't about them talking about black women. It's about them talking about other brothers. There's brothers that want to save the community. Their case and their objective is just as valid as you want them to be happy. Both can exist at the same time. Well, the thing is that, yeah, that's your programming, the sneak. Of course, they're going to shame you into doing it. That's your programming. The thing is, you have to break your programming. Like Guru says, don't drop the link, keep going. You have to break your fucking programming. At the end of the day, when they went at the passport bros, man, people got upset. Where are you coming from, BGS? I thought you were pro-black. I thought you were conscious community. Every fucking black man has the right to be fucking happy, right? And I said it in one of my videos. Okay. I didn't struggle so that my son would have less choices, so that he would have more choices. They didn't go. They didn't fight. Fight against Jim Crow. and racism so that the men would have less choices. They want their sons to have more choices. The thing is, I say to black women, you should be the best choice and not the worst, which I fully don't understand that. Your own men that you should raise should see you as the best choice and not something that you have to do because you're supposed to. You should be black women should be the best women, not the worst women, the best women toward their men, not the worst. And black women take pride in being the worst women for their men. I don't get that. That's backwards. You can never go to an Asian woman or a Latina or a white woman and say, I'm going to be the worst woman for my man. I'm going to make sure that my man or my boys never rise above me or never live to their fullest potential. You will never see any other society say that. Why in the black community do we do that? Why do black women pride themselves to be at being the worst women, the biggest headache for their men? It doesn't make sense to me. You should be the best product. You should be the best product, not the worst product, the best. When I heard this lady talk about Kobe Bryant, the first thing she talked about is a fucking Latina that he married. Really? Really? Well, what's gonna happen to all that money? You know, I want to say, bitch, you ain't gonna get it. You didn't marry him. Well, his family was upset about him marrying the Latina. So the fuck what? He found a woman he was happy with. And basically he married her when she was 17 and he was still married. Some 20 some odd years later with 4 kids. And he's happy with her. He didn't divorce her. She stuck with him when she could have took the bag when he did his random shit. She didn't. She didn't bounce. How many black women would have got embarrassed by what Kobe Bryant did and stayed with him? Let me know. How many of the sisters would have told that woman to stay with Kobe Bryant after he fucked up and in public went through a fucking rape trial? How many black women would have stayed with the Kobe Bryant? That's not the part that they talk about. Chick was a virgin when he got her. The thing is, black women pride themselves in I'm I'm an alpha female. I don't like beta males and blah blah blah. Why the fuck would you call your own men beta males and be proud about doing it and not trying to make the black men better? Yeah, well, it is rare. Well, back then it wasn't that rare. She was in high school. She was 16 years old. And he had to have permission to marry her. He had to wait to marry her. Because I think he was 19 and I think she was like 16 or 17. 16 when he got her. He had to wait for her to mature so he could get married to her. And he's still, until the day he died, he's still married to her. How many black women can say that? Even the ones that are married to athletes, how many women can say that? And why after all these years are you angry at the dude? The dude is not even in the ground. Body hasn't even been recovered yet. And you're going in about him being married to a non-black woman. Talk about legacy. When they say legacy, let me get to this legacy shit. Okay, that black women try to sell you as a selling point. A man's legacy is not a woman's legacy. A man makes his legacy with the woman that he takes and the kids, the children that he produces. It doesn't matter what womb he chooses. Okay, his children are his legacy. Just because she's white or she's Hispanic or Asian or Latina, and you have kids, are those still not your kids because they're a different color? Are they still not your legacy just because the mother's a different color? My brother married an Asian. They treat my nephew and my niece as black. Oh, sure, myself. Uh, what is that, LaShawn? Ah, that's the only thing I understand. I really want black women to be the best women. I want black women to be the no brainer when black men actually choose a mate. I want black men to actually to take a step down when they not don't choose a black woman. That's what I want. It's what I would like. And if it were black men, we'd be shamed for that. That our women would have to choose another man, another group of men. We're shamed for that constantly. Or we have to choose a white man because you're not worth it. And we're shamed for it. But the thing is that and black men do take it to heart and they at least try. Against all odds, they at least try. Black men will at least try. Sometimes they can't do it, but they at least try. They at least try to take it to heart to be better men. And don't take pride in being worse men or being degenerates or being broke or being whatever. Black men don't take pride in that. Or being the nastiest, most foulest men on the planet. We don't take pride in that. But black women do. Like, you don't deserve any better. We don't have to treat you any better. We don't have to talk to you any better. And we don't have to be the best woman for you. And I don't get that. I don't get that. And then when you talk about when they talk about black legacy, about having black children, let's get to that too. Why are you is your legacy is the black man having a child with a black woman? The legacy is the most likely have his child at the bottom in scores, at the bottom in lifestyle, at the bottom in any kind of achievement in this country. Is that the legacy? You're selling something. You're saying that legacy should be with a black woman. Legacy with what? If you look at the totals, if we just added it up, right, and we look at all the metrics about what you would get from a white mother, an Asian mother, a Hispanic mother, and a black mother, as far as legacy, as far as children are concerned, right? And he said, okay, who's going to give me the best legacy for my kids, best outcome for my kids? Give me a one if you would choose black women as far as outcome. If we just take all the facts and the totals about kids and outcome, give me one if you guys would actually say the black woman would be the best legacy or the best outcome from a child, given the odds. I mean, you don't have to lie. If you feel that way, you feel that way. Okay. Will 33 says one. So you guys would still choose a black woman. As Fox says. Book logic. Okay. So even though 75% of your boys uh, are below reading level. Okay, well, okay. So why would you choose her as a legacy for your kid? Because that's what they're selling. I'm not saying about feelings. So they're selling a legacy that they're the best. What is it? They will give you the best legacy as far as having kids with them. Why is that? I'm curious. Why would he be saying for his children? Now I'm talking about as a group. as a group. I'm not talking about feelings, because they sell legacy all the time. They say legacy as far as kids are concerned, and your legacy is your children. And you look at the metrics. Do the metrics add up? I'm not about curious. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying if they're lined up like a say like a mutual fund, and say we're going to actually invest your time, money, effort into a legacy, which are your children, and you look at the prospectus, and this mutual fund is at the bottom, would you pick it, and why? Black women, if you look at their legacy, not who they are, not the sex, but the legacy, what they produce, and the odds of the outcome as a group, would you pick them? Now, I'm talking about right. We're not talking about the right one. Don't give me that bullshit about the right one, because you don't know if she's the right one. Is she, because she's selling legacy as a group? Because I'm curious about the ones that said they would. Okay, it's not everybody. I'm talking about the right one. I'm talking about as a group. I mean, in other words, say if what's the worst car? I don't know. People probably won't remember the Yugo. What's the worst car nowadays that's out there? What's the car? What's the worst? What's the worst car that's out there that nobody, that's trash? What's the worst car out there that's trash? A Geo. Really, a Geo? Okay. Okay, say the Geos are the worst car out there, right? And basically they have all these cars from, like, say, like I think is the what is it? Not a Nissan. What's the other one? Honda. Okay, say it's all smart cars, small cars, and you have a Honda Accord, you got a Toyota, whatever it is, you got a Nissan, you got a Geo, and the Geo is the worst one, is the worst car out of the bunch statistically, right? And would you? And they're going to sell it to you. They're all the same price. And the salesman said, if you get the right Geo, you get a good car. Would you pick it? If you get the right Geo, you get a good car. But the thing is, you're taking a chance because half of them are trash. Would you pick it? The Kia. I hate Kias. I can agree with that. I hate Kias. I would not buy a Kia. Oh yeah, I remember I was gonna say the Yugo, but the thing is, people might not remember the Yugo. Would you pick it? Would you pick it over the Honda? Chevy Aveo. And I'm not saying, because you could pick one Geo or a group of Geos that will go like 500,000 miles and never have a problem. But would you pick it sight unseen? Pintos weren't bad. Pintos weren't bad. Pintos had a gas problem, gas tank problem. But as far as the Pintos weren't bad. Chevy Sprint, Spark. What? Oh, the Gremlins were horrible and ugly. I'm just asking. What I'm saying is, this is what women are selling. Okay. They're trying to say, well, I know we're mouthy. I know we're hard to get along with, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, um, if you don't get a black woman, you're going to actually be ruining your legacy. I said, okay. I always say, how, Sway? Explain it to me. Pacers weren't bad. Pacers were ugly, but they weren't bad. As a group. So in other words, if let me, L Ghost, as a group. Okay. So if you found a Geo and you test drove it and you felt you had a better chance with it, would you take it home? Or would you, if it's the same price as the Honda that has the best track record, would you? That's what I'm asking. And I'm not saying that the woman, I'm just talking about one little selling point. The thing is probably not. The thing is that when women use legacy, they're talking about phenotype. They're not even talking about the rest of the stuff because legacy is not always about phenotype, is it? Because at the end of the day, most men don't care about the fucking phenotype. We care about the performance of the child. Will the child be successful? Will the child be happy? Will the child be able to feed itself? Will the mother be the kind of mother? I'll give you one person that did work out, but the thing is, she's trained different. Sister Asada, who had 7 kids and homeschooled them all, and actually went back to school so she could be a better teacher to her children, which is admirable, which is very highly unusual. Now, if we could clone her, and there were like 40 million Sister Asadas running around, you could throw a rock and just pick one, just like a Honda. Nobody, you have trash Hondas. Some of them fail, but the thing is, 90% of them don't. Which one are you going to pick? The Pacer, or the Geo, or the Honda? The one that like 80% of them were trash, or are you going to pick the one where 90% of them are good, or actually exceptional cars? Most Hondas run like 300,000 miles and basically have to be trashed, gotten rid of, or given away because they keep right on running. They don't leak oil, don't leak fluids. You start them up and they go. Oh, broke my wallet. Well, BMW's a black man's woman. Ego talent. Oh yeah, those were bad. Those were bad. Well, and what I'm saying is we're just talking about one metric. I would, you know what, Grinch, I would take a Rhodes Scholar over a phenotype. I would take a guy or a girl that's sitting on the World Bank over a phenotype. Yeah, I had a Dodge. I had a Dodge Caravan that had like, you know, I had to give it away because it had like over 200,000 miles on it. Never stopped running. What I'm saying is that if black women are selling, well, yeah, well, um, who the mother is the biggest predictor of what the success of the children, unfortunately, especially in this community and in these United States. Is legacy only genes? If that was the case, we just take the best version of Big Booty Brenda and be happy with it. Just put up with the stuff. You know, if men if that's what men really want, then the women are accurate. No, that's true. They don't. That's all I'm saying is about legacy. VW rabbits are actually very good. They used to race rabbits. Yeah, well, Susie has herpes too, unfortunately. What I'm saying is, it's not about them being worth anything or something like that. The thing is that why do why do black women sell something that sell you a can of goods, man? Basically, they don't take pride in legacy. An Asian woman would be actually horrified if she raised unsuccessful kids or kids that were not viable, right? She'd be horrified. She'd worry herself to death that her kids wouldn't make it. And the thing, unfortunately, most black women don't care, which is the issue. But they sell that. What kind of kids are you going to have? Yeah, but the thing is, what kind of mother am I going to give my children? The thing is, the thing is, the stuff they take pride in is like, sometimes like I said, it's not that I'm angry with them, I'm just disappointed. And I'm getting tired of disappointed because, like I told a certain other gentleman in this sector, give me something that I can sell. Help me. Like I said, I always tell them, help me help you. You're trying to sell these women. Give me something that I can sell. I can't bring Geos and put them up against Hondas, okay? I can't bring Geos and put them up against Toyotas. Give me something that I can sell. You want me to sell the idea of getting with black women? And I wholeheartedly agree with black men getting with black women, but give me something that I can sell. I can't sell it to these brothers. You want them to come back to the table and help build a community? Give me something that I can sell. Give me a deal that I can sell. I can't sell this. That's why I don't sell it anymore. And well, I never did sell it. Because the worst advertisement for getting with a black woman is the black woman herself. And every time we have a debate and they're talking about SYSBM and whether brothers should leave or not, and a woman gets on the panel and all of a sudden she gives the perfect example of why black men should leave. Like, goddamn, there it is right there. You just came in defending black women and just blew the whole thing up. It's like, oh shit, let me just get off of here. There's grades of bad. Okay, it's like American cars. There's grades to it. And unfortunately, if we're talking about Western women, cool man. As far as Western women, we're all competing together. And you look at all the metrics, their women are graded. Okay, even in America, they're graded. So if you only had to buy American, would you buy the worst American car or the best American car? If you had to buy it, the vast majority of men will be stuck with American women. You sold it. You didn't sell them as wives, though, Grinch. Well, that what you were selling, that's what they're good for, Grinch. What you were selling, that is their lane. Okay. Now you can sell that all day. Hey, Kendra, what's going on, baby? Just venting. That's all. But the thing that I don't like, that I've never liked, is that black men going at another brother over a woman's choice. I never liked that. Even when it was, I didn't like it when the the classic men or outlier men or educators, whatever they were, going at against the Pookie and Rays and the thugs. Okay, because they're having the same goddamn problem that you're having. And the same thing when the thugs went against the classic men and vice versa. Okay, you're all having the same goddamn problem, and now everybody knows you're all having the same goddamn problem, and you're still going at each other. And after we stop the women, stop tone the women's bullshit down. Now the men are going at each other, vying for what? Favor of the women. Can't make this shit up. Now it's the select against the non-select. Even though you bastardize the term from the guy that created it, you go against the guy that created it. He said he actually told you what it meant. He said anybody can be select in their own arena. Just find your arena. Thought on what simp talk. Oh, well, you know what? Um, Gab did a video and I had a response video that I didn't drop. Okay. I was gonna say I'm gonna hold it for a couple days before I drop it to see what Gab was on. Okay. Because I was gonna drop it, but I'm not gonna drop. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna put it on ice because I want to see where he's at. I didn't want to fly off the handle. I didn't want to take his head unless I have to. Oh, it can. The thing is, the B1 network. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter if you don't have anything to sell. If you can't give these dudes better women, they're not going to buy it. You can't make them buy Geos. Black women are going to have to be at the very least Nissans. Okay, at the very least, compete. Well, the thing is, for some people, it's overseas. Some people can't make it there. 80% of your population will not be able to do that. My powers are weak. They're getting weaker all the time. Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe. Yep. I talked about him earlier. But the thing is, I know since he was married to a Latina, the black women are going to go in on him. But hell, he's been married to her for like 23 years. I don't know why they're just getting to him. I hope they're not down to Hugos, man. I hope they're better than that. Well, the thing is they're basically the programming that they had over their boys is not going to work anymore. And the thing is in one hand, it's expected because you can see the trend. And the other hand, it saddens me. It saddens me that our women can't compete with other women. It saddens me. And what saddens me is that they know it. That's what saddens me, that they know it. They know that they can't compete. Well, yeah. Like I said, I'm not gonna point her out. Well, the thing is that basically after all the wrangling, you know, the Pookies and Ray Rays and the select and non-select are all saying the same goddamn thing for the most part. They're all saying the same thing. They're all meeting in the middle. I'm gonna make this announcement real quick. If you're gonna troll, okay, if you're gonna troll, you're gonna get your head taken off. All right. No ifs, ands, or buts. You know, I'm gonna invoke martial law. You guys are gonna come in and do some BS. So if you're gonna troll, uh, uh, be mindful that I may not dig you out because I got like 200 people in my block list, and if you want to get dug out like 6 months later, I might not be able to find you. So be mindful of that before you decide to come in and start throwing shots. All right. Anyway, I don't think Kobe didn't have a. Kobe's a billionaire, so he wasn't anti-Trump. There's a lot of chicks that excuse bad behavior in women. Well, Crystal Squirrels is not the one I was talking about, and Crystal Squirrels is not wrapped too tight. So, in fact, I don't think Crystal Squirrels is wrapped at all. Our entire community is dysfunctional. Okay. So we're supposed to stay with you and stay in the dysfunction or try to get better. Kissed by son. You always say that we should stay in the same pool because we're all dysfunctional. And because I'm dysfunctional, you're dysfunctional. Two crazy people need to be together. Really? Or should one try to get better? Huh? So they shouldn't try to get better. So they should stay in the same pit. Hmm? Kissed by son? They should stay in the same pit? Or do you want to come up and explain it to me? Kissed by son. Do you want to come up and explain it to me? A Gnostic, a Gnostic shares wisdom. You have to accept it. You have to want to do it. Solving the problem is knowing when the problem can't be solved. The problem is easy to solve. Do you want to actually solve it? No, I ain't got to stop bashing. I'm going to keep on bashing. And if you keep talking about it, it's going to get worse. Hey, you want to come up and say that? You want to come up and say it, sweetie? You want to come up and say it? If you got the guts, come up and say it. You want to be heard? Email me. Email me. Black men are fucked up. Black boys are fucked up. Black boys are undereducated, underemployed, and underdeveloped. And they've been beaten down by not only the community, by their own men. They're fucked up. Of course, they're fucked up. Should they stay fucked up? Or should they take a chance and getting out and getting better? Because you're not going to make them better. Now, if you want to talk, we can talk. You got something to say. If you got the guts enough, the ovaries enough to get up here and say it. But I don't think you got the fucking ovaries. Do you? You got your little girl. You got your little girl. Was it bunny rabbit panties on? Nah. You got your bunny rabbit panties on. You don't have the ovaries to get up and say it in real time. Stop bashing women. Telling the truth is not bashing. You're a man, really. Don't sound like it. You sound like here we say a maggle. Sound like a woman. Well then you really should email me because you got balls. You got balls. You really should get up here and tell me what the fuck you talking about. I'm pro black. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't pro black. I get tired of you motherfuckers talking about you pro black. Pro blacks know what the fuck the problem, and they would agree with me. Even the females would agree with me. You ain't no fucking pro black. Get the fuck out of here. If you're pro black, who's your teacher? What camp you come out of? What camp you come out of? If you're pro black, what camp you come out of? You're tired of people using that as a cover. It ain't done shit. Ain't learned shit. Ain't got no history. Ain't got no background. What camp you come out of? You ain't pro black. You're not part of. Then don't give me that bullshit. Then you're not pro black. You're fake hotep. That's what you are. That's what you're. Get tired of fake hoteps. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up, man. No, you ain't. Shut the fuck up. You ain't putting in no work. Shut up. You ain't pro black. When I asked you the question, couldn't even answer it. You ain't. You a wannabe. You ain't no. You ain't. Shut the fuck up. No, you ain't. I asked you what camp you come out of. Yeah. Oh, I'm not a bullshit. Who's your teacher? You don't have to be with a camp to have a teacher. Who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? Well, then shut the fuck up. You're not that. You basically you're pro black in your mind. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what, which is funny to me. You claim that you're pro black, but the thing is, you come in, you're actually pro. You what I call you hotepping for pussy. That's what you're doing, which I don't like. You're hotepping for pussy. Now you can get on and talk to me, or you can go away because you're hotepping for pussy, and I don't cotton to that. You've either solved the goddamn problem. Because if I'm a Gnostic, I should have solved the problem. That's a woman's talk. Oh, that's a woman talking. Okay, it's a woman. That's a woman's statement, not a man's. Get on and get banned. Now me and Xanatos have gone round and round. Okay, and Xanatos can tell you that I've really never changed my stance. Now there's some things I wouldn't cotton to, wouldn't agree with. Shut up, man. Kiss my son. Get out of here, man. Go ahead and go ahead and either get on or get an Uber, man. Don't come in with that stuff because it's representing something that you ain't. Get the fuck out of here, man. I hate fakes. I don't have the stomach for fakes anymore, man. I don't. If you're true pro black, you should be able to give me your lineage. Everybody want to say I'm pro-black because it's in my mind. Bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I've been in the game. I got skin in the game. I've been in the game. Anyway, let me check my message real quick. It's my grandson. He says he's praying for Kobe and his children. That's the part that bothers me about it all. Kobe lived a great life, but I was hoping that his daughter wasn't with him, but she was, and I'm sad. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. I think we feel worse for ourselves when somebody dies than for the person um, because we haven't necessarily lived up to our potential, and we still have breath. What I'm saying is, mistreatment is gonna happen. It happens to all people. The thing is that we're here now, and the thing is, um, are we gonna do something about it or we're not? If we're not gonna do anything about it, stop complaining. And when people want to go elsewhere because they can't get what they need here, and you can't offer it, let them go. Well, I'm sure that's why his wife was suing him, because he would earn another $1 billion or so in China. Uh, well, that's a separate. And me and the Lakers have a. I won't. I'll do that on Patreon. I'm not going to talk about that over the public air. We'll do that on Patreon about uh, me and the Lakers. Me and the Lakers management, the owners. And it's not something one-to-one. It's just let's put it that way. They're not particularly fond of me, but that's the story of my life. Yeah, I don't either. I don't have time. It became more commercial, and I think as it becomes more commercial, then it's less entertaining. And I still like it because I'm a basketball player at heart, so I still watch it. Well, I mean, I used to um, really, live and die with the Lakers, and if they lost in the playoffs or whatnot. But the thing is, over the past, I say 6, 7 years, I know it's a business and what's behind it. And once you, like, say, take the black pill and take a black pill lens to your favorite sports team, it's like, okay, I get it. So it's not as satisfying as it used to be. So if they lose, yeah, you know, I tell you, being black pill makes watching sports extremely hard. It really does, because it's hard for you to root for one team or the other. It's like, that's interesting. So there are no highs and lows. Maybe it's age. SYSBM is basically just, basically what it is basically choice. That's all it really is. It's basically choice. Whether you get with a black woman, you don't get a black with a woman, you get with a non-black woman, you leave the country, whatever. It's basically choice. Do black men have the choice to make themselves happy, make themselves the best they can be? That's all it really that's all it really is a choice. It's pro-choice. It really is pro-choice for black men. And basically, nobody wants to give you a choice except you. And basically, if you think about the lives that black men have to live in the United States, in America, and if you step on a landmine and social landmine in this country, and you find yourself homeless or in prison or whatever, or dead or whatever, nobody's coming to save you. The women put it off. Your black women tell you, if the kids are doing bad or the boys are not reading up to level, okay, how come you ain't helping them? How come you're not doing for them? How come you don't come back to the community and save your boys? Well, goddamn. So in other words, I actually had to tell that to crew. In other words, that's SYSBM. Save yourself, black man, because nobody's gonna do it. I told my little brother that when and he's 50 now. But the thing is, when he was 10, you're a black man, nobody's fucking coming to save you. Nobody, even your own women, saying they're not coming to save you. They're not coming to save you. Mama's not coming to save you. Sister's not coming to save you. Your woman's not coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. If you do not save yourself, you're going to go downhill. You're going to go down that rabbit hole. Okay. Black America, white America, or America, period, will swallow you up and chew you up and spit you out. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. The only person you can depend on is the brother that's next to you. So SYSBM means exactly that. Nobody, I do mean nobody, is coming to save you. If you do not save yourself, I don't care who you marry. If you don't save yourself, you're shit out of luck. Because if you can't work, you get injured, you're on the street. Ain't nobody coming to look for you. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. That woman may give you your own wife or girlfriend may give you $1. She ain't gonna save you. You have to save yourself. That's what, even though that's not what the acronym meant when they invented it, but I use it as that. That's the way I use it. So they can sue me if they want to. I don't go by the tenets. I don't care what the tenets are. At the end of the day, literally, every black man is SYSBM because nobody, I do mean nobody's coming to save your ass. You're all SYSBM, whether you like it or not. You might not like the language, but at the end of the day, your own woman has told you that she is not coming to save you. She says you have to save yourself. She has told you that in many occasions on YouTube, in media. The first person they blame when shit goes wrong is you. If your boy grows up to be in jail, it's you. It's a single mother home. It's your fucking fault because you didn't save that boy. You didn't save that boy. You didn't save that man. Even I was on I think it was the Roger Report. And he says once you get 21, you should be able to figure it out. If you should be able to adjust yourself and make yourself viable. Well, goddamn. Then basically having a mother, a black mother, for all those years, all those 18 years was useless because at the end of the day, you got to save yourself. She might as well not even brought you up. She might as well gone on giving. See, are you already taking your head? If you want to get on, bro, you know my email. Exactly. So in other words, you have to do the best for yourself. So if it means picking another woman, another race, another country, guess what you got to do? Because nobody's coming to look for you. If nobody's coming to help you, you got to help yourself. You have to do the best for yourself at the time, the best for yourself and the children that you produce. So SYSBM is universal because your own women have told you that. But the thing is, you want to come back. You're not asking us to save ourselves. Have to save ourselves and come back and basically help save the woman that put you in the goddamn pit. Come on, man. So in other words, if a black man have to save themselves, they have to do it by any means necessary. So if a white woman is willing to help you out of your predicament, that's what you take. If a white woman is willing to help bail you out of jail or get you out of prison, out of a life imprisonment, you're gonna take her help. If you have to save yourself, then saying that I should be with this woman or that woman or stay in this particular group doesn't mean very much, because if the group didn't serve you in the first place, didn't help you, is not willing to help you progress and thrive, what's the group for? What's the group for? In other words, if it's as bad or worse inside your own group, then why not take a chance to go someplace else? How much worse could it get? If a third of your children are of your boys are going to prison, and another 10 or 15% are dying early, and and you saying it's going to be worse on the other side of the wall or the other side of the fence. I always say houseway. Is it worse being spit on by a white man than shot by your brother or stabbed by your ex? Is it worse? Is it worse being called a nigger and for why a white teacher is willing to teach you how to read, write, and do arithmetic, or a black mother that gives you kisses and makes sure that you fail? Which one is worse? Which one is worse? I'm not saying one over the other. Which one is worse? And I'm saying, and this has come from a staunch pro-black conscious community dude. But at the end of the day, we have to uh, look at the facts. I can't tell a dude to stay in this community that didn't serve him, that didn't help him, that in fact helped promote his own failure. I can't tell him to stay. You send a little boy out on the street to sell drugs so you can bring money home. But when he gets shot down, you're the best mother in the world? Come on. Or I did the best I could. Come on. Or you won't take 30 minutes to sit down with your son and help him read when he's behind. But that white bitch, if it had your son, would make sure that he learned. Not that I love white bitches. Which one is worse? I'm just curious. I'm not throwing out any answers. Which one is worse? These are the facts. I don't think they hate their sons. I think they have low key contempt. I don't think they hate them. I mean, I'm not cooking. I'm seriously asking a question. These are just random thoughts. Because when I ask these questions, I can't get any answers, even from the women. You just should stay with a black woman. Why? Legacy. What kind of legacy? The legacy that we've had for the last 200 years? Really? That's the legacy you're gonna give your kid. That I should want to give my children as a man. I'm battling with this shit right now. Let's say Trina B. I didn't see it. Put it. It's going so fast. I'm not used to this many people. I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question. Well, it is barely hidden. You know, trust and believe I know. And those, like I said, those are the ones that like you. No, it's contempt. You know, it's not disregard. I wish it was disregard. It's contempt. If it's competitive nature, then wouldn't they compete to have the best offspring? It's just me. Oh, all right. Now I got 39 likes. No, I got 431 likes according to my clock. I'm just asking. These are just random thoughts. I'm not throwing shots at women right now. Just random thoughts. What are you selling? Okay, or oh yeah, he's no, they have Kobe stuff waiting, man. Kobe's an interesting character, man. Polarizing but interesting. But you can't knock his work ethic, man. His diet, his work ethic, his passion to be the best. You can't knock that. He should be studied. Him and Michael Jordan should be studied because that takes a certain amount of discipline that we don't have, or that black people should have. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that could go in the top five. Trina B, are you talking to me? If you want to talk to me, I'll put my email in. You can come up and talk. Because I'm curious, man. Because I've asked this, in the conscious community before I get my shirt tail tugged on, like, or the sleeve tugged on, like, we can't do this right now. We need to ask it in a softer way, in a nicer way. Now, actually, LeBron is a hard worker. LeBron is don't fool yourself. LeBron might not be the smartest person in the world. He's not, but he gets the best out of what he has. And he's smart enough to actually enlist smart people to help him. He doesn't have the same kind of competitive fire that Michael Jordan or Kobe did. But the thing is, but that's his personality. Like my son has the same kind of personality that LeBron does. Uh, I don't know what it is, man. Well, it's daytime. That's all it is. Just time. Most of the time, I'm in the middle of the night when people aren't up. That's the only difference. Um, Smart in that he knows what he doesn't know, and he's willing to get people that know more than him. And he's willing to take instruction and get the best out of himself that he can. So you don't have to be a genius to be smart. There's a lot of guys with high IQs that are stupid. because they don't get the best out of themselves. So LeBron is not. He's actually very. The reason he came to the Lakers is clever. People think he came here to play basketball, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't have the intellect that Kobe had, but like Kobe spoke 7 languages, and he read a lot. And LeBron was smart enough to follow in Kobe's footsteps. That's why he came here. Um, I hope so. Yeah, Kobe should be studied. I mean, if any elite basketball player should be studied just for the discipline alone, how much work they have to do, how much, and it's year round, because it's not just the work that you have to do, but also the appointments and stuff that you have to keep up, because you're always going someplace for like 18 to 20 hours a day, and they have to come home and get some rest and get up the next morning and push your body through stuff. So trust and believe, being an NBA basketball player takes a hell of a lot of discipline, which is probably why my kid didn't make it. He doesn't realize how much work it's actually going to take. So the guys that do make it, man, you can't be an idiot and make it in the NBA basketball, into the NBA. Those guys don't stay very long. He was a nerd a little bit, but the thing is, he wasn't raised here. He was raised in Italy, so he has a different outlook. But he learned, he had to learn. Kill the Maggle. But Kevin's in the house. Shout out to Kevin. I still appreciate you, Kevin. I saw your count, your view counts going up, and I said he's knocking it out of the park. So, I always be beholden to Kevin Samuels. But I was just saying is that, which what makes me weary is that, especially about the other side. Okay. Um, the stuff that they do, the stuff that they say, they're not even looking at reality. Okay. And at the end of the day, if they don't clean up, if they can't clean up that the female end, basically all this stuff is not going to be for naught, because these guys, men are not stupid. Okay. I don't have to be on YouTube. I don't have to bash women. Stuff that's going to happen is going to happen anyway. A lot of people, they even never heard of me, never been in this sector of YouTube, are already doing the same thing. Like the SYSBM brothers were doing this way before I ever came on the scene. Way before YouTube, they were already doing it. And basically the reason they came to me is because they had a crisis of consciousness. The conscience was bothering them. Okay, they're over there. They're happy. They got their spouses, and they have a love for the black community, whether they actually express it or not. They do have a love for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. They have a love. They all the guys you think they were swirlers or traders or coons or SYSB. They actually have a love of the black community. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be in this sector. They want the black community to be better. That's what they want. That's what they want. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. And that programming that tells them they should feel guilty about being happy, that's what was fucking with them. And I said, fuck the programming. Be happy. Don't worry about it. If you're happy, be happy. In other words, and Valdez said the same thing. We didn't fight, as a group of men. We didn't fight for our boys to have less choice. We didn't fight to keep our boys in the fence. We didn't fight to keep our boys in America. We fought to give our boys the whole world if they so chose to grasp it. The thing is, I didn't like. Why go at your brothers that didn't make it? That don't have the experience, that don't have the foresight, or don't have the guts to get out. Why go at them? And that's why SYSBM, for the most part, pretty much left people alone until people start taking shots at them. They pretty much stayed to themselves and left people alone, which I don't understand why people are taking shots at them. They're not bothering you. Which I don't understand. I never understood it, even with passport brothers. It's like, you guys can't go overseas and mess with them women and dirty feet bitches and them hoes. You don't take your money. So the fuck what if they take their goddamn money? They'll learn from it. Well, you look at what they say in China, because he's really big in China. He's huge in China. You think he's big here? He's a god in China. And the very women that want you to branch out and grasp the whole world and embrace the whole world and be better are the very women that are trying to keep you in this box. Why? Can't have two things at the same time. Yeah, they want to be better. And at the end of the day, okay, if he's willing to come back and help, who gives a fuck what his wife looks like? Something I couldn't understand. All the money, Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte and all these dudes that are married to white women as entertainers were pumping tons of money into our civil rights movement. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, did the job get done? Nobody says anything when your teachers are white and they're teaching your children. Nobody says anything. Who gives a fuck? Did your kid get what they needed? Did you get what you needed? Are you happy? Do you have to be tied and be miserable to a black woman that has disdain for you or contempt for you? You have to be tied to her for 20, 30 years because for what? For legacy? That's your legacy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't pick black women. I'm saying black women should be up to the standard to be picked. If you I've been coaches on teams. I want to start coach. Okay. I would love to. I like you as a person, but you have to qualify to be a starter. You got to take somebody's spot. If you can't, sit your ass down on that bench. Black women, if you cannot compete, sit your ass down on the bench. Get better. With that Lizzo thing, it's like, well, I know it's a publicity stunt because she should have never been let into the building with that on. And then for black women to support her because you want acceptance. Come on. Hey, Artisan, what's up? Yeah. And find the credit. What I'm saying is, but he's not pro black Uhuru, because he had a white wife. Black woman, I understand the women. I can fully understand the women because it's against their interests. But I can't understand black men following this stuff. I don't. I don't. I don't understand it. Oh, where's she performing? I mean, at the end of the day, Lizzo performing doesn't mean very much, okay? The man lost his life. So Lizzo is an entertainer. And the people that want to rock with her message, I don't have a problem with. But the thing is, call a spade a spade. Was that behavior acceptable? Do you rock with it? Is this normal for you? If it is, then we have a problem. We have a problem. So, in other words, it's not only black men don't have a standard, black women don't either. And we're a reflection of that. The thing is, I applaud brothers that try to get better. I applaud brothers that want to be happy. Man, God, I say at the end of the day, goddamn, because I've been through this, man. I got been 6, 7, maybe 8 relationships. Okay, long term, right? 3 kids, 3 grandsons, right? I would never tell my son that he shouldn't be happy just because he needs to have a woman that looks like his mother. At the end of the day, you only get one motherfucking life, man. And basically, America tries to snuff that out and make it as hard as possible. If you can be happy, be fucking content. Try that, man. Just be that. If you can do that without hurting people, be that. If you can do it without being negative or doing something negative to the community, man, be the best person, be the happiest person you can be. At the end of the day, this is a man's channel, right? And everything I've done is so that the man can find the black man can find himself and find some kind of contentment in this crazy, fucked up world that he has to exist in. So, you know, like I said, Xanatos dating out or doing what he does, at the end of the day, be happy, and whatever happened to you in your childhood, man, get that shit up. Okay. Give it up. It doesn't matter. Be happy. Be happy, be content now. You know, you know, if I was homeless with a cart and raggedy clothes and a couple of beers, I want to be like the guy in my neighborhood. I can sit there on a bench, feel the sun on my face, feel the wind at my back, beautiful Southern California weather, drinking a beer, and then be content for the moment. And Xanatos can tell you, I have never. The only thing I told Xanatos is just, man, your past is your past, man. Get that shit up, okay? It happened, and compared to Xanatos, I'm gonna tell you, bruh, compared to what I had to go through as a kid, what you went through was nothing, man. Okay, nothing. Trust and believe, bruh, nothing. But the thing is, at the end of the day, man, um, it doesn't matter who you with. You don't. I don't care if you had the best family, you had the best black mother and the best black parents. If you want to choose a woman of another race, another color, blonde, blue hair Becky that has the blondest blue eyes in the world, that's what you want to do and that makes you happy, shit. The one thing that every black man should have is, as far as the struggle, this legacy to find contentment in this fucked up world, man. I would never say that any black man, that's doing something positive, that's not hurting anybody, that's content and happy, whatever the fuck he does, with whoever he's with. I would I would applaud that dude. You won the lottery. You won the lottery. You won the lottery. Man, they get mad at me because I'm with this white chick. Who gives a fuck? Are you happy? My brother married a Filipina. He's happy. He never looked back. You owe it. You owe it to every black man that's ever died and struggled in this godforsaken country. Okay, to find some kind of happiness. All those people did not die so that you could be miserable. Okay, that you can struggle forever. Struggling, you can struggle and be happy at the same time, right? You can fight for your community and be happy at the same time. Those are not mutually exclusive. Okay, you don't have to be with a chick that you can't stand. And I say that I am a proponent of that because I've done it like 3 or 4 times. I am not going to stay with a woman I can't be happy with. You're not going to make me miserable, even if I have children with you. I told my ex that if you cannot do the minimum to make me content, not happy, but content, guess what? I'm not going to be. Not going to be with you. If you want me to take care of my kids, give them to me. I will take care of my kids and be content. But you are not going to make me unhappy. You're not going to make me drink or do drugs. Okay? I'm not going to do that with you. You have one shot. I'm giving you an opportunity to be with me and enhance each other's life. Okay? If you cannot do that, guess what I'm going to do? I am not going to be with you. I would never tell another man to be with a woman that cannot make him at least content. And if being content means, and I know tons of guys that went to other soils, other sons that are highly conscious, highly Pan-African, highly black community, because they couldn't find what they wanted here. They went elsewhere. That's what men do. If men can't are unhappy where they are, they move. They don't stay there. They don't nest there. They say, you know what? I can't find what I need here. Let me go someplace else. Another city, another country, another community. Men have always done that. And nobody frowns at other men when they do it. But all of a sudden, black men can't do it. Really. Well, when you get to the other community, you're going to have problems. Okay, so what? If the man made a decision, he got to live with it. What if they put him in jail? He got to live with it too. What if he gets kicked out of the country? He's poor. He's broke on the street. He made a decision for himself. He got to live with that shit. But he has the right to make it. He's not a child. I told my son that if you date out and you do whatever and you fuck up or you decide to do what you do, as a goddamn man, you got to be able to pay the price that comes with it. Happiness comes with a price. Contentment comes with a price. Are you willing to pay it? And if you are, go forth, my son. It's not that hard. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's your God-given right in this country, to the greatest extent that they will allow it. If white women make you happy, God bless you. If you're willing if you're willing to put up, because you're gonna have some issues being with a white woman. If you're willing to put up with the downsides as much as the upsides, God bless you. The thing is, if you're gonna do it, be willing to accept the good and the bad and be happy with it and be good with it. I don't see why that's so hard. I don't see why that's so hard to understand, especially for a community that for whatever reason does not serve you. Some things are on the white people, okay? Some things on white folks, white supremacy, you getting a job, you getting loans, whatever it is financially that you can or cannot do. You being followed by police. Okay, you can't. Okay, the black community can't do anything about that. That's outside of their purview. But the thing is, there's things that they can do. There's things that they can do. And if they don't, it's because that's not important to them. If it's not, you know, you can only get out as much as you put in. If they don't put in 100%, they can't expect 100% to come back. And you can't shame somebody into saying something with the outcomes that are in the black community. You can't. I can't shame them. What am I going to say? What would I say to a Xanatos clutch? Well, why he should stay in the black community? He's going to point and look at what's going on in the black community. Why should I stay there? What am I going to say? Can't say shit. Oh, brothers, you should man up and suffer for the race. Really? Okay, suffer for the race. Why? Crickets. They have a right to make a decision. They have a right to make a decision. And we should have the facility to make it better for them. Even if you're poor, it doesn't matter, okay? Even if you're poor, your kids should still be well educated in this country, even if you're poor. It's called sacrifice. Well, you know what? You don't need my blessing, okay? You don't need my blessing. I think if we stop that, I think a lot of the argument would go away about black women and black men and this, that, the other. Go make yourself happy. What is it that you're lacking that will not make you happy? Okay, and stop bothering these dudes. Facilitate them being happy. Facilitate them being the best person that they can be. If you do that, then they can't grouse about anything. If you're making them the best that they can be, they can't grouse about shit. You know, my son cannot grouse about his life. Okay, he could have possibly made it to the NBA. The thing is, he didn't want to work for it. He can't say anything. What is he gonna say? Well, if you had helped me, I could have been this, that, that. No, nigga, you didn't put the work in. It's not on us. You get what you get. You made a decision. If you make a decision, you have to stick to it. You can't blame nobody. My son does not blame me. My kids don't blame me because the thing is, at the end of the day, if the only way you could actually blame somebody about what the job that they did is if you do better. If you do better. So as far as SYSBM, you know what? If SYSBM thinks I was betrayed them or was against them, whatever, you know what? At the end of the day, you know, I do what I think is right. And if you think that me speaking for you is being disingenuous or hollow or dick riding and stuff like that, everybody knows I don't dick ride for nobody. If I don't think it's right, I don't follow it. I don't think it's right. I don't follow it. I don't think that they have a case or have a right or have a good point or even a good outlook. I don't follow. I don't care who it is. Obama who he was. Okay, Obama was elected for a reason. Okay, and you weren't going to get a black president otherwise. Either you wanted a black president or you didn't. If you didn't want one, then that's fine. I wanted a black president, no matter what, because you're only going to get one. Why not take it? Somebody asked me why I vote for Obama. I said, if I have to elect a president or buy a car, at least I want to pick the color. Because at the end of the day, they all have to do the same thing. They're all locked into the same. Even Trump is locked into certain decisions, whether he likes it or not. What happens to the blessed? Basically, either they will compete or it will be absorbed by the greater society, which is going to be anyway. At the end of the day, it's already going to happen. So it doesn't really matter. It's just how fast will it happen? It's already baked in. You already cut the deal. We can talk about that for a minute. Basically, all your black townships are being burnt down. Your businesses are being burnt down. You're being hung. You're being disappeared. There is no legal system that will help you in this country. You're being oppressed. Uh, you want out of that bullshit? You have to cut a deal. They cut a deal. To cut a deal is that you be willing to, over time, be absorbed into the greater society. You made the deal. The deal was made. Now, you don't have to be absorbed into the greater society. You could take advantage of what you've been given and make your communities and your society the best. You could do that. The thing is, why don't you? And if you don't, it could be two things: either you don't want to or you can't. I don't know which one it is. You cut a deal. Black people think that civil rights was a one-way street. Okay, they're going to give us something. They're going to set us free. They're going to give us rights, and I don't think they don't want something back in return. Nothing in the world of politics work that way. You had to give up something. Was what you gave up worth what you were getting? You can say yes or no, but the deal had to be cut. The deal had to be cut. Where are you, Black Think Tank? Where are you? If they're starving you out, you're not getting proper food. A lot of your babies are dying because of nutrition, or they don't make it as kids. 80% of you are poor. The rural South is getting ready to be mechanized. You're going to get forced into the cities anyway. What deal would you cut? You want to continue to be hunted and oppressed, and your towns burnt down, your homes burnt down, no legal remedy, or what? What deal would you cut? What I mean by that is very simple. Don't play stupid on me, man. What deal would you cut? Because you have to cut a deal. They don't give you something for free. What deal would you cut? They want something, and you don't have any power. What deal would you cut? As far as assimilation, or what we call civil rights, they wanted assimilation. You wanted relief. What deal would you cut? The Japanese have a country. The Jews are white. You could have gone to Liberia. You already had a country. The Japanese have a country. They have Japanese money. Japanese already had their deal, and they had to give up something. What deal would you cut? And you don't have no power. You could have got on a boat and gone to Liberia. Until 1998, Liberia, any African American landed in Liberian soil got citizenship. We could have went there for 200. What is it? And it's 1798 to 1990, 200 years. You could have got on a boat. They purchased that land for you. They made a country for you back in the 1790s. You could have got on that boat and went there and become a citizen. How come you didn't? What deal would you cut? You could listen to me, sir. You could have got on a boat or a plane, gone over to Liberia, stayed there 6 months, and got citizenship. The president's last name is still Johnson. There ain't no that's not an African name. Assimilation is a process. It's a deal that was cut. Yeah, I want the same deal the Japanese and the Jews got. You ain't them. You could have got the same deal that the Indians got, which is elimination. No, they didn't. No, they didn't take it over by force. The last name that the last president of the Liberia was called named Johnson, descendants of slaves, sir. They didn't take over the country. Until 1998, you could have been a citizen of that country by law, by constitution. You can disagree all you want. You can't disagree with the facts. Along with genocide. That's my boy called me about Kobe. I'll talk to him later. The thing is, what deal would you cut? What deal would you cut? I always get this. What deal? All this revisionist history. We could have did this. We did what we could. They got the deal that was offered. That got the best deal that they could. Yeah, well, he can play dumb. He can go look it up in a book. Yeah, no deal. Yeah, well, you could have got the ovens just like the Jews did in in Germany. Were you willing to pay that price? Some of you might have because it wasn't you. Of Liberia, Johnson, Ellen Johnson. Ain't no Johnsons in freaking Africa. Johnson is not an African name. No, it was after Washington. You can look up the African Colonial Society. I haven't looked it up in a long time. They wanted to send you to Sierra Leone, but the British wouldn't have it because that's where their slaves went. Of course, they're not going to put you in a position of power. The thing is, that's not what you would have loved to have gotten it. But the thing is, what you wanted to do is not be murdered in the middle of the street with no consequence. No, I don't agree to shit, man. I don't agree to shit. I don't agree to disagree. I don't have to, because I didn't come to your platform asking questions. I have to agree to shit. You asked me. The only reason you agree and disagree because you ain't looked the shit up. Well, you do. Well, yeah. Hey, well, yeah, you can agree to. I said you can agree to do it. I said I didn't. Good for you. An agreement takes two people. I don't agree. They killed. They killed in their way. We got some treatment in their way here. What are you talking about, LaShawn? You guys are not making any sense. My patience, 2020, my patience is going to get short. Have done my patience is short for emotional thinking. They thought about it. I wish I could find the sound again. I lost that. I should have recorded it then. Unmod what guy? Who should I unmod? Anyway, we're getting on nigh onto. We'll do like another 15 minutes. You know what they did? They were following what they learned, but it's Liberia has a complex history. LaShawn, what did he do this time? Okay. Anyway, okay, all right. I mean, it's all right. It's okay. All right. I had no idea what the heck he was talking about. I mean, I'm looking at the chat. I didn't see LaShawn do anything. Anyway, um, the thing is the history is always complex, and if if you come in and say something about what should have been done, how people should have cut a deal, you got to understand what they were working with at the time. It's easy to say after you got some of the fruits and you have the police off your back for the most part, you have the white folks off your back for the most part, say what we should have done. Yeah, it's easy to say now. You can't go back and replay the first Super Bowl and say what should have been done. You wasn't on the field. Who raised these women, helping men with basically society raises women. Okay, basically, and women have to um, be trained to be a wife. That's why the society has to do it. And I'm not saying that black women aren't capable. The thing is that um, they can't play on something, use something as a positive when it's not. What kind of metric are you using when you're trying to sell something? And when they always say that the white man is better than the black man, I said, why is that? Why is he better? Can he have more money, more research? He can always do that. But as a person, as a man, uh, if the group of men are better than another group of men, usually means that one group of men hasn't had the training that the other one has. And if you're dissatisfied with the group of men that you have, the thing is, why aren't you satisfied? And how come you haven't corrected the issue over the past 100 years? You've been complaining about the same thing. How come you haven't corrected it? No, but you want us to correct it because we're the men. You want us to save ourselves. As long as we come back and give the bounty, give the gifts, to give the resources to you. Whether we do or not is irrelevant. We must become better because we need to survive. And if we don't, then guess what? On this Mother Nature is very cruel. The things that don't deserve to survive usually don't. Hey, Golden Eagle, what's up? You know you know what's saying that I don't even try to sell, uh, um, at least meeting with black women and having them come back to the table anymore. And half the time that doesn't even work because the guys that want to come back to the table, they're not going to ask for anything anyway. Get what message? Get what message? What they did to Kobe? Well, you know what? His legacy is big. Coup d'etat relations with the U.S. What the fuck are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? You guys be just way out, man. You know, just saying. You be just. You know what used to piss me off, man, about being in the conscious community? It wasn't the lectures, it wasn't the meetings afterward, man. When some dude would give you some weird theory and idea and just hold you, and you're trying to accommodate him by actually asking questions, trying to get some kind of logic out of what he's saying. And he keeps saying emotional shit that doesn't make sense. And then they get mad when you say, "Hey, man, you know what? that doesn't make sense to me. Let me just leave." And they hold you by your sleeve, like, "Come on, brother." Like, you get sick of that, man. You know that shit don't make any sense. But you have to stand there and listen to it. Oh, I talked to him before. Oh. Coronavirus. Depends on whether it's naturally occurring or actually man-made. If it's man-made, then we have a problem. Am I opening up a panel? Why? Actually, I just wanted to get stuff off my chest, and people didn't. I actually offered to open it up earlier, and people said, "Yeah, just keep talking." If you really got something special to say, I might. But if you don't, man, I'm not really, up for chit chat. If you really got something really to say, I might. You have a theory. The teacup sent here by the government. A reaction to bacon. Okay, I heard that. Give them swine flu, huh? The thing is about the coronavirus, if it's biological warfare, then it is what it is. I hope it's not. I hope it's just something that's naturally occurring. Because I hope it's not, this is actually not the anniversary, but basically the 1918, 1919 bird flu killed, what, 10% of the population in the world? Hope it's not that bad. That they would take the pilot seat for what? Well, you know what, Jessica? Why type when you can talk? Because your arguments are weak. But the corona, look up the 1918, or was it 1918, 1919 bird flu. And they recovered it, uh, was it 10, 15 years ago? They recovered it. Maybe 20 years ago, they recovered it. So it's in the CDC. They could have recreated it. They've passed around variants of it for over the last 20 years here and there. So it could be part of that. Nobody knows. We'll see. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, Kobe's gone. His helicopter crashed. Him and his daughter died. Yeah, it was in three or four places. I think it's in Chicago, California, and I think there was one other place. It might be Texas. I'm not sure. No, nah, China's actually pretty cautious about viruses and shit like that. The thing is that uh, what's funny to me is that they're building a special hospital for just for the virus, right? And they're going to finish it within days and not months or years. It takes us years to build a hospital. It takes them days. I just shook my head. We can't even how they have cities where nobody lives, but we have a homeless problem. One of the most advanced countries that's ever existed. We can't house our homeless because of money. Yeah, I mean, there's flights every day. Nobody knows who has it. And basically around that city, when the Chinese don't play, they have uh, soldiers around that city keeping people in. So it's not a joke for them. NWA, man, knock it off. Forget it. MDOA, just you know, no. Corona means, you know what a corona is? It's the ring around the sun. That's a corona. Named after a beer. Fitness mom, only you. Well, they might. Those cities that uh those cities that they built are still there. They probably will be. But as far as buildings made out of fall apart, I remember where was it Hurricane was it Hugo in Florida, where all those substandard houses blew apart like paper at Tu Brute. Leasers won't give you a lease after a year. Now they now charge you monthly. Okay. Oh, they have to. Basically, this is a conversation I had off of YouTube about the people running for office. They're coming up for office, and the Democrats are on the backslide. And Donald Trump basically questioned the people in San Francisco and L.A. about their homeless. And the governor says we got to do something about it. So basically, it's rolling downhill. Democrats don't want to look bad. So I told them they should take advantage of it politically. Put pressure on the Democrats to actually do something. Because Trump's willing to open up some money, take the money, do something. House these people. Black think tank. You want to get time? Do you need a timeout, Black think tank? Is that what you need, man? Is that what you need? Need time you need some corner time or what, man? Or are you gonna calm your ass down? No, actually, they actually they're using the money to actually start housing people. The people are the Republicans care just as little about their homeless as the Democrats do. Doesn't really matter. Thing is, how does it look? Hempcrete, from one of my understanding, is not good for compression by a guy that actually erects skyscrapers. He said he can't use it for that. So I take his word for it. Since he's built all these buildings, not just houses, but buildings, like talking about um, multi-level office buildings, amongst other things. If he says that hempcrete can't be used, hempcrete can't be used as structurally anyway. That's what he says. If you don't chill out, Black think tank. Lonzo is so weak. Well, we'll see. Most NBA players don't really show what they're made of until like 23. So we'll have to see. It was his third year. I think, yeah, third year. We'll see. He's got skills. He just has to be able to put it together. And we'll see if they can make it work. Yeah, I guess he wanted to get timed out. Anyway, what time is it? We got about 10 more minutes and we're going to bounce. Any other questions while we're at it? What's what's wrong with Jessica? What is Jessica's problem, man? Everybody timed her. Everybody jumped on her. Jessica, are Jessica, are you really that stupid, baby? Are you really that stupid? Are you that stupid or you don't care? Oh, she's drag. Even a hyena is normally crafty and smart, but. You get your perspectives. What are you talking about, Jesse? The new deal between U.S. and China is basically the old deal between U.S. and China. Um, uh, it's an election year. Basically, they got to get China to start buying agricultural products again. That's what the deal is about. They made a compromise. Hempcrete. Okay, the man that I talked to, who's was part of my he's part of my think tank circle. He was in the steel erection business for 40 years. Okay. He built lots of office buildings, hospitals, parts of stadiums, and stuff like that. That's his business to know about construction. He's not just building houses, he's building uh, parts of stadiums, he's building office buildings. He should know about his business. He said you can't use it for structural building. He said you can't. That's what he said. Because he actually looked at it because he teaches structural engineering to kids. His son is a structural engineer. He said it can't be used, so I take his word for it. Missed my email. Okay. Oh, possibly, man. Send me another one. So, in other words, are you a structural engineer, Jesse? Do you own a construction company, steel erection, and do you do that? If you do that, then we can talk. If you don't do that, then we can't. Because I had the same argument with him. Okay. He said it can't be used. This is his business. I can debate, but at the end of the day, I don't know more than him. Okay. If the man that has built buildings and hospitals and multi-level uh, office buildings says you can't be used, he did for 40 years. He owned the company. Says can't be used, can't be used. That's what he said. Until that changes. The only thing he lost to is he said robots can't weld. I said just give them time, and they did, and they have. That's the only thing that he was wrong as far as construction. He was wrong about. I said with AI and automation development, what are the domain at risk? Well, you name it. There is no limit. The only thing is you get as many skills, technical skills as possible, and you keep learning because it's always going to get better. Have to keep up with it. And people that can't keep up will get left behind or replaced eventually. Oh, Nipsey won the Grammy. Okay, cool. They gave him something. I wish he could still been breathing though. You got 5 more minutes, folks. Any last questions? Well, you're more dead than alive, unfortunately. I wasn't saying it. I did too. So I thought the same thing you did. And he gave me a tongue lashing when I said it. Yeah. Basically, they actually showed it. Basically, a robot can have X-ray eyes and X-ray vision. They can see holes in the well that you can't see. So if they get skilled enough, they have tools. They have tools that you don't have. They have magnets. They can say attached to the beam. They can be on a more stable platform. They can have more than one arm, more than two arms, or in two hands. They have X-ray eyes, uh, uh, but microscopic vision. They can see stuff that you can't. So eventually, yes, they will be better than you. It's just a matter of time. They already weld cars and parts of ships. Why not buildings? Uh, when the world continues to brain drain, there's always going to be a brain drain. It's just which direction. The matriarchy will have to evolve. You might get a bigger, a better version of the matriarchy. Who knows? We'll see. Thing is, under the present conditions and environment and what we've been taught, the gynocracy doesn't work. I don't care what it is. If it works, it works. If you're going to have a gynocracy or a matriarchy, make sure that it works. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then it needs to be tossed out. Ours isn't working. You have a patriarchy. The thing is, you have a specialized matriarchy or gynocracy inside of a patriarchy. It's a weird situation. Now, the patriarchy we have is weak, but the thing is, it still exists. Uh, Not at the moment, LaShawn. We don't know. Or become to humanity. We don't know. We don't know what. I'm sure the dinosaurs had the same question. What's going to happen to them when a meteor hits? So we don't know. Nothing's guaranteed. You think they can't be used. YouTube doesn't believe in freedom of speech. Nope. They sure don't. They have decisions to make. They cannot maintain everything. They cannot save the banks, save the military, and you at the same time. So we'll have to see what happens to the gynocracy when it happens. We don't know. Will they figure it out? Maybe they will. Well, basically, the easiest thing is become a programmer. That's what's needed. IT is what's needed. Robotics is what's needed. Growing food is what's needed. The thing is, how do you do it? How do you manage that stuff? It's a lot of things that are needed. It's head cheese and living robots. Okay. I don't know what head cheese has to do with it, but who knows? Oh, she's back for another round, huh? Yeah. Basically, the skills will evolve of what's needed. The thing is, you have to keep reading because um, because the technology is moving so fast. Some things will open up and some things will close down, and that's what Harari said. Um, Things will open up. The things, can you recognize them and exploit them? Because if you think that you have something for life, you won't, because a machine will actually rise, or processor will actually rise up and take its place. Can you stay fluid? Can you stay flexible? Eventually, programmers they won't need that many programmers. Okay, eventually. The thing is, can you exploit it at the time? Can you make your money, exploit the situation until it gets ready to dry out and jump to the next one? You're gonna have to do that. You have to be a jack of all trades. Well, she said, I'd rather be a nurse. Okay, she got to make her money and get ready to move when it's time. Nurses are still needed. Be the best one that you can, and when it's time to jump, you got to be ready to jump. Otherwise, you're gonna get trains gonna go off the tracks with you in it. Eventually, but the thing is, programmers like quantum computers are just arising, but it takes specialized programmers to actually program the damn thing. So I would say trying to port AI systems to a quantum computer, they're gonna need programmers for that. The thing is what type and how many? There's a nurse shortage in a sense, but there's not a nurse shortage everywhere. And they could eliminate the nurse shortage in about 5 years if they really wanted to. And along with most of the nurses and doctors. Yeah, well, yeah, some of it. Some of it you got to find a nifty way to stay in the game. There's always a way to stay in the game. Uh, 30% of college will close next 10 years. Hard to say. Hard to say. Hard to say about colleges. They're going to have to evolve too. The ones that can't evolve will die off. Anyway, y'all, got about 2 minutes. Thank you for coming. Next time we're here, we'll open it up. The people that wanted to have it out, they didn't email. So, and who did it? Thank you for Original D for the Cash App. Appreciate you. Do you believe they excuse or remove the student loan? If they can't pay it, they're not going to have any choice. It's like a whole other things that they have debts with. Eventually, I do believe they're going to have a debt jubilee and a UBI. Eventually. Later tonight? Are you kidding? I just did 3 hours. I doubt it. We'll see. Anything can happen. If I'm on later tonight, it won't be public. It'll be for the patrons. If I'm on. But anyway, y'all. Associated, what's up, man? Valdez was in earlier. You hear my rant? I guess the maggots and hyenas were too afraid to move to come through. Basically what Harari is saying, that nobody knows where this stuff is going to go because it's moving too fast, which is a bad thing. And this is coming from the World Economic Forum. The last video I actually put up, he's saying that this stuff is probably out of control, and trying to predict where it's going to go, where it's going to land, and what it's going to eliminate is impossible at this point. HBCUs are not history if they can do one thing to actually survive, which is link up with the continent. Okay, because the continent needs black schools to link up with. If they do that, they can survive. If they can't, then guess what? They're going to go on a trash heap like everybody else. Be on Tariq's show next. Okay, well, good for you, man. What time is it in LA? Come on, man. You should be able to figure that out. It's 5:30. Anyway, y'all, let me jump off of here before I get irritated. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.